So when you think about overstable approach discs, what do you really think of? You think of mainly just the Zone, the Pig, maybe the Harp, now that Ricky's throwing it. But what about this? This is the Prodiscus Jokeri. You might know it because of Drew and Kevin Jones used to throw it, but this almost looks like something between a Zone and a Pig. And it actually kind of surprised me a little bit. So let's talk about it. We're in the fairway. We're good. Might be absolutely terrible. We'll see. All right, so now that you guys know what I didn't work on in the off season, let's talk about how this feels. So literally, like I said before, this disc, it feels like a Zone between a Zone and a Pig. So honestly, if you don't like the Pig because the rim is too like fat, it feels a little bit weird in your hand, like me, this feels a little bit better. It doesn't feel as thin of a rim as a Zone, but it fills your hand almost a little bit more. It's between, it's like a Pig, but it feels like slightly smaller in your hand. It feels pretty good. It's very flat. This base plastic is obviously base plastic, so it didn't really handle that tree hit very well. But it feels nice. If you have trouble forehanding a Pig, I don't know if this is gonna be any better because the rim is so close to that, but it can forehand well if you can forehand it clean. Obviously, I cannot. But yeah, honestly, when I looked at it, when I first got it, I was like, this is gonna be a nice overstable putter. But it was a little interesting though. But we're gonna get into that. Also, got one of these babies, so subscribe if you wanna see that. So. Look what I gotta throw in. So, not gonna lie, after I threw this, I was a little disappointed. Mainly because like after looking at it, I thought it was gonna be like more of a Zone or Pig type disc, but just feel a little more comfortable in the hand than a Pig, and just feel like just maybe for bigger hands than the Zone. But it really wasn't. So I threw it in the wind about like 10, or no, it was like closer to 20, 25 mile per hour winds. And it still held really straight, but you can tell it is not as overstable as the Pig or the Zone. So it's not gonna be, if you're getting the Jokeri because you think it might be like a Pig or a Zone, it's not. Which at first I was like, man, it's kind of a bummer, right? But after throwing it more, I really enjoy the disc. It's just, you just gotta know what it's for. It's just for those dead straight shots, and it's still overstable, so it's still held in those like 20, 25 mile per hour winds, but it just went straight. And because of that, it goes a lot further than a Pig or a Zone. So like on some of the holes, like I threw it and it went, like it just kept going. It goes out of your hand fast and it keeps going straight, and it'll give you a finish at the end. So when you're doing approach shots, it'll act more overstable on short approaches, but when you throw it off of the tee or on bigger drives, that's when you start to see that it is not a Zone or a Pig. It'll just fly just dead straight. And that's probably why like Drew Gibson or Kevin Jones, back in the day before he was sponsored by Prodigy, they just crushed these things and they throw them really far because they're not as overstable as that Zone or Pig. You can just crush them and rip them and they go a lot further. So that's probably why they liked bagging these, and they like just throwing them off the tee and just on a lot of different lines, because they can hold a lot of those lines. It's a lot more workable than a Zone or a Pig is. Now, this plastic that I have, I'm not familiar with what the plastics are called, but this is their base plastic. It's a little bit softer, more flexible, and it really got some chunks off of it when I threw it into those trees and such. And you can actually see it got a little bit warped on the edge here. I had to fold it back a little bit, but I mean, that's pretty standard across a lot of base plastics. Like if you can see a lot of soft harps out there that just like look like a waffle. It's all folded up and everything, which this would be good. It might be a little more overstable and they're more premium plastics, which would be good. It might be closer to the Pigger Zone, but I don't know if it would be as overstable as those still. I would still go with the Zone or the Pig if you want something really overstable. But honestly, if you got a premium one of these and had a couple of the baseline, I wouldn't be surprised if these beat in really well and will become a turnover disc because it's not as overstable. I don't know if there's anyone out there that cycles Jokeris, or if they have a beat up one, like does it flip over and hold that line, or is it just keep that overstability at the end? That would be interesting to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can have like just 3 or 4 of these and that be your whole putter lineup for throwing. That would be really nice because they feel good in the hand and they go a long ways for a putter, for being an overstable putter. And it's a little more forgiving. So if you're having trouble throwing just dead straight putter shots off of the tee, and like the Zone and Pig are too overstable for you, but whenever you throw like your main putters, mold like a Wizard or Judge or something that's meant to go straight, but when you're off the tee it doesn't, this might be good for you. This would hold straight when you rip them off of the tee for you, so that would be good. Basically, if you're looking for a Pig or a Zone, this isn't it. It feels like it is, but it's not, but it's still a great disc. It's that slightly overstable straight putter. It's just, I really enjoy it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you throw the Jokeri or if you're interested in the Jokeri. We actually have a few at apollodiscgolf.com if you're interested in them. But yeah, otherwise, see you in the next one.